What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fig Heel YouTube channel, and today we're going to be unboxing Major Bendy Series 2 from the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, which just so happens to be in my new book, The Ultimate Wrestling Figure Checklist, available now on Amazon.com. It features a foreword by Matt Cardona himself and photography by the AEW Jazzwares photographer Matthew Goldberg. It's available in hardcover and paperback. The hardcover is obviously the best version, but I do think the price is better on the paperback. Now, I'm a big fan of the Major Bendies. I am not a completist just because I think that it's going to get so insane with little variants, but as far as mainline figures goes, I'm going to be getting them all, meaning series like that are available online at the 1,000 count. So this is Major Bendy's Series 2. I'm excited. Big Nick Gage fan, so I'm really excited to get his first quote-unquote figure. It's got Adam Bomb, the Unreleased, and those two both have a chase variant. I have not opened this up yet. The other two are Brian Pillman and Danhausen, so I think a great set overall. I also love that they come with trading cards, which I like to top load up and hold on to. I just think they're nice quality, high grade cards. So, all right, I see right on top here is the cards. And we've got Danhausen, Adam Bomb, Nick Gage, Brian Pillman. So, there is the, I was gonna say Adam Pillman. The Brian Pillman, pretty cool. There's the back with the autograph. The very nice, very evil Danhausen. There's his autograph. The Bomb himself. There's his signature. And my man, Nick Gage, flipping the bird. What his autograph looks like. So I'm gonna be putting these in sleeves, penny sleeves, and top loading, but I'm gonna put them right off to the side for now. First up, I can already see these are packaged very well. First up, I can see we have two. The first one is Brian Pillman. He's got the half smiley face, half skull shirt on, the vest over it. He's making that maniacal face, which I think is pretty cool. He's got black, like almost like combat ready pants and the combat boots. He's got a watch on. It's a nice touch that they always do with figures like Conrad had a watch on. And as you can see on the trading card, he's got the watch. I like that they don't make you cut it out. They actually give you one, and it's actually better quality than the card. And they've included this little lip here for mint on card collectors. Let's see. So, if you haven't been following my videos, these are two-piece. So they come in two-piece, the top and bottom torso. That's for like reuse, use on different figures. You can use different torsos and different legs on different stuff. Great detailing on the vest. Love the hair. Super, super blonde though. But I guess, I mean, at this era, I think that's what they were going for, right? I guess could have used a little bit of shading, but that's extra deco. Not sure that's necessary for a Bendham, to be honest with you. I don't think any have two-tone hair, so this is right in line with the original line. He's got the studded cross on the back, which I think looks awesome. Timepiece on his wrist. I'm feeling these, and I could be wrong, but I just put mine on display. Just these legs alone feel more bendable than Series 1 and the My World series. Having a little wardrobe malfunction there. But, yeah. Just got back from the gym. Sorry, guys. I think this is a pretty cool one. Fits right in with the Attitude Era Just Toys Bendhams. So I think it was a very necessary added piece to the line. And I love that you can see the cutoff t-shirt peeking out of the vest. Nice touch. Gotta bend him a little bit forward so he stands straight. Next up, we have Nick Gage. Oh my God. We got a chase. And if I had to pick one, this is the one that I would want a chase of. I'm super excited. Like I literally have goosebumps on my legs and on my arms. I'm so excited about this. I'm a big Nick Gage fan. Little backstory on me, not that anybody asked, but Zandig, the original owner of CZW, was a friend of my father's and a family friend. And so I was, I've been around Nick when I was in high school and stuff like that. There was like they did what was called the Ultraviolet Underground for CZW, and it was like unsanctioned, you know what I mean? It was never in a ring. It was always like in random places. And one of them that they did was a Junkyard. It was called Junkyard Wars. Chris Hero was there, Sean the Kabuki Kid, Zandig, trying to think who else. JC Bailey, Gage was there. It was really awesome, hardcore, ultra violent matches. Long story short, the Junkyard is actually owned by my father. So I was there. I remember being like 15 years old and just watching these extremely crazy hardcore matches where Zandig hit Gage with a car and like all this crazy stuff. It was a lot of fun, and it's just so cool seeing these guys do these horrific things, and then they come off and they're just like such nice people. And Nick was definitely in that category. So I'm happy to have this chase. This is the Major Chase edition. As you can see, he's got the Hate Club, the man shirt on. It's a bloody variant. I'm a huge fan of bloody figures. So this is amazing. Let's open this up. But all this means now is that now I got to get another set so I can get the standard edition Nick Gage. Because you can't just have the chase. You got to have the chase and the standard edition, right? So, man, this is freaking awesome. Wow. And I love that it has a sticker on the packaging. Amazing. But this like pays homage to what I would say is the Al Snow Bendham. He's got his arm up, kind of like Al Snow was holding the head. And instead of holding the head, he's holding a pizza slicer, pizza roller, whatever you want to call it. He's got the Hate Club, the man shirt on, like I said. And on the back, it's got the Nick Gage logo. Great detail on the headband, like just like any other generic headband that you've ever seen with that design, it's there. And I think they did an excellent job. Ties in the back, wrist tape. The blood is going down his skull, his face, and his arms. Very cool. All over his hand. I gotta say that this is going to be the centerpiece of my Major Bendy's collection. This is literally going to be in the front. He's got the camo shorts on, which I gotta say, this is probably the most impressive thing about this. The camo on this looks great. Now I know there is no like set algorithm or design template of camo, but sometimes companies do camo and it just doesn't work, especially for a Bendy. This is incredible detail. The brown, dark green, light green really looks good. He's got the black boots. They're like sneakers almost, with like tights, I guess you'd say, coming down out of his shorts. The red and the white on the bottoms, the soles. It just looks really good. And I mean, it's a pretty great likeness. The only better likeness that you could possibly think of is that they had his mouth open and you could see like his teeth or lack thereof, you know what I mean? But I don't think that's necessary, especially for a Bendham or a Bendy. It's not necessary to do that. Guys, I gotta be careful, man. These shorts, woo! But yeah, really cool. I am stoked about this. Sorry, I know there was a lull and all that, but look at this figure. I gotta chase Nick Gage. If I literally had to pick between Atom Bomb and Nick Gage, and it's tough because the Atom Bomb, there was 2 unreleased versions of the Atom Bomb original WWF Just Toys Bend-Em. There was one that was shown at trade shows and one that was shown in ads on different promotional materials. I still think I would have to pick the Nick Gage because I'm just a big Nick Gage guy. So awesome. What a score. We've got next up, Danhausen. I'm going to be honest with you. It took me some time to get on the Danhausen train. I knew who he was for a long time, but I just didn't get it. He was on Conan O'Brien, and I just didn't get it. He was on some major pod stuff. I just didn't get it. It took me a while, but I gotta say now I get it. Sorry, I didn't even look. Yep. Nick Gage, MDK, stamped on the back. It's hard to see. There it is. I didn't even check these for the autographs on the back until I noticed the Danhausen. So Brian Pillman's is actually on the back on his hamstring. His right hamstring, if you can see. It's a crucial part of Bendies or Bend-Ems to have that signature, and I love that they included that. Next up, we have Danhausen, which arguably, and I don't think many would argue, easily the best deco on a major bendy. So they usually ignore tattoos, right? But there's one tattoo that you can't ignore, and that is Danhausen's chest tat. Great detail on the face paint, which he now owns the patent to, or the copyright to. He's got his wrist tape, the signature on the back. And my favorite part is the deco on his tights. The spiral and his face is great. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's like a straight up, they didn't even try painting it to look like him. They just used a straight up graphic. And it looks great. It's on all three sides, not on the crotch. It's got red trim, black boots, fine little detailing in the boots. Absolutely, this is a great one. The face paint looks awesome though. The tat though, the deco on this, bravo, major bendies. And last but not least, we've got, oh my God. Oh, they got me. They know that I gotta get the standards now. I gotta find a way to get the standards. I got Atom Bomb Major Chase. You guys, I know there's a double sale here. Oh, you can't have one Brian Clark. You can't have one Nick Gage. And I love, one thing I'm noticing is that on the card, it's got Brian Clark written for the name, but the signature is Atom Bomb, and that's the signature that's on the back. So I love that. I'm pretty sure that Brian Clark owns the Atom Bomb name, but I don't know the legalities of it and everything like that. So maybe it was safer to put Brian Clark on the packaging and the autograph to be Atom Bomb. I don't know. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but man, this thing looks great. So I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I have this correct. So the standard edition Brian Clark that you see right there is the one that was shown in promotional ads for the WWF Bend-Ems line by Just Toys. It's this one right here. It's like black, orange, the yellow. And this one was shown at trade shows, I would say toy fairs and such. And there's actually images where on the wall you can see packaged ones of this. So what I think is Matt, Brian, and Knick were kind of like, all right, well, which one do we make, right? Which one? There's two different versions. And once you have the mold, it's cheaper to do different deco on it as long as you're not changing the mold. So I think the smart business choice here was to let's make both. One's going to be a little bit more limited, and it's natural to make this one a little bit more limited because it wasn't really as widely known. Whereas when people look up the Atom Bomb Unreleased Bend-Em, this is the one you're going to see, that deco. You know, you really got to search in the background of pictures to see this one. And for years, like, I would see that picture and I didn't even really realize that it was different. So this is like a blue singlet with yellow deco. He's got the nuclear symbol on his knee pads, which I love this. It's got the square cutout on the back. I love that they do that. And this one is actually, this is a single piece. This is not a double piece mold like I was saying where you can take them apart in half. This is a single piece mold. Wrapped wrists, wrapped hands, the nuclear symbol right here. We've got the mushroom cloud on the side of each part of the singlet. I personally think this looks great for an Atom Bomb figure. It looks just like him if you ask me. Long hair, and he's got the radioactive glasses on. Very, very cool. Absolutely amazing. I gotta say, I mean, I said from the beginning, this was a set that I was super excited about, right? It's hard for me to pick a favorite. And this is like, don't take this the wrong way. This is not saying anything bad about this figure, but I gotta say, Brian Pillman's probably my least favorite figure in this set. You know, and that's not saying it's a bad figure. It's just, this is a set of 4 bangers. Literally 4 bangers here. We've got, now I know this is a little bit of bias here, but we've got Nick freaking Gage, which, like, you know, within the last couple years was a hot name in independent wrestling, hot name in hardcore deathmatch wrestling for years. So this was huge to me. We got Danhausen, who is a massive name in just wrestling in general. Maybe not on television as much yet, but in the wrestling world, I feel like everybody knows who Danhausen is now, right? It's a huge name. He's a hot commodity, and he's in Series 2 of Major Bendies. We have an unreleased Atom Bomb that I thought we would never get, and now we have. I mean, it's hard, but I would say yes. Number 4 for me is definitely Brian Pillman, but it's still a great figure. The studding on it is such fine, these little dots, and it's like you can feel it. It's not just painted dots on there. It's raised. That is molding on this vest. So this vest isn't obviously the top because it's got his head. It's not going to be used again, but they can't even file it down and reuse it because it's so detailed for Brian Pillman. That's how much work goes into these, and I think it's phenomenal. And if you're not on the Major Bendies line yet, I mean, you got to get on this train. I see huge things for this. So much so that I cleared off a complete shelf in my collection room. Complete shelf for Major Bendies. Because I know it's going to be lasting a long time and I'm going to be getting a lot more. And I can't wait to see what they do next. We've got Nick Gage, and there's the bloody variant. There's not many bloody figures in the history of wrestling figures. So this alone puts it into a class that is such a filed down and small genre of wrestling figures. So that's huge. People who collect bloody figures, guess what? You need this. You need this. And I know there's people out there that collect, they're like, oh, I'm not a big AEW fan, but they got the blood and guts. I need it. You need this too. Danhausen and the Brian Clark Atom Bomb. This easily, and I loved Series 1. I really loved the My World Major Bendies. This, by far, is the best Major Bendies product to date right now. And I'm not just saying that. On the last video, people were like, oh, you know, Major Pod paid you to say that. Listen, Major Pod didn't pay me nothing. You can ask them, and I will tell you straight up. I'll show you the receipt if I have to. I paid for these out of my pocket. Every single series I've paid for because I believe in this product, and I really think they're great. Now, if you don't like it, maybe you don't like Bendy figures. I like Bendy figures, and these are a great product. And they're not paying me to say that. I genuinely like these. So I gotta give this set like a 4.5 out of 5 because it's very, very good. It makes sense, each and every single one of them. You need Nick Gage to go with Matt Cardona if you have Series 1 or any of the repaints. You need Brian Pillman if you're a collector of WWF Bendies, just like you need Brian Clark, Adam Bomb if you're a collector of WWF Bendies. And if you collect modern guys, AEW guys, you need Danhausen. I feel like depending on what you collect, there's something in this set that you need. That's just the way that I look at it. So I'm super happy about this. It's one of those collections that I keep loose. I'm stoked that you're able to reseal up, not reseal, but close up the packaging so I can store them away in case I want to keep them mint on card. But yeah, definite 2 thumbs up from me. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up the Ultimate Wrestling Figure Checklist. Pick up the Major Bendies at MajorPodMerch.com. And you have a chance at a chase. I don't know how many of each chase are made, but you have a chance at a chase. So take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Get the Ultimate Checklist. Peace. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need FigHeel's Ultimate Wrestling Figure Checklist, a 500-plus page guide to over 50 years of wrestling figure collecting, featuring over 2,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands in wrestling history. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, as well as mint on card and loose value. With a foreword by professional wrestler Matt Cardona and shots by Matthew Goldberg, the Ultimate Wrestling Figure Checklist is a must-have for collectors. Premium full-color and value black and white editions available now on Amazon.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Check out my official sponsor, Whatnot, by clicking the link in the description to join and save $10 on your first purchase.